Hi, Krista. How are you doing? So I'm going to wait a couple minutes before I start. This is completely impromptu, mainly to get me used to talking in front of my phone and get me comfortable with it. But I feel like it's time for me to come from behind the computer and talk about what I'm building. So I'll wait a couple more seconds and then we'll just go from there. Hey, Sabrina. Hey, Trey. So as I was saying, I'm mainly doing this to kind of pull myself and force myself to get from behind the computer and behind the scenes to step out in front of people and explain to them what I'm building. And what 1M4 is, or what it stands for, it's 1 million madly motivated moms. And what it is an online community powered by your smartphone to connect Black mothers across the country to communicate and discuss things they're dealing with police brutality. So whenever a police officer abuses his or her power, this community comes together to financially and emotionally back the member who was violated or brutalized. So it's a way of using the democratic process because it's a voting process. The member will come before us, filling out an application saying this is what happened, this day, this time, and this is the proof that I have that this happened. We remove that member's name and just say, hey, we have a member who had this happen in her family or to a loved one. We discuss it. We look over the footage and the proof that she has, and then we allot a certain amount of money to help her get expert legal representation. So she gets the financial backing from the organization as well as the emotional backing. Because a lot of times whenever something happens, you just see hashtags pop up. Hashtags justice for so-and-so. Hashtag justice for this other person. Well, and it's hard to get your voice out unless you get national media attention. Well, 1M4 amplifies your voice because you have a community of hundreds of thousands of other moms who are just as ticked off as you are that this happened, and they're going to stand with you to help bring these police officers to justice and get accountability. So the short-term goal of 1M4, which is 1 million madly motivated moms, short-term goal is to sue, sue, sue. Things don't change unless people's pockets are hurt. And that's the cities and the police departments. So the short-term goal is to sue and to criminally and civilly. And the long-term goal is to lead our children and our loved ones into roles in the criminal justice system. That is not just law enforcement. Law enforcement is very, very important to have police officers, boots on the ground. But what's more important are the policy and the law makers. That's your senators, your governors. We need those. We need lobbyists. We need people up and down the criminal justice system. So it's a long-term goal, which is 20 years or so. We're aiming to end police brutality, and that's by filling the system with Black and brown faces, qualified, ethical candidates for these different positions. But the short-term goal again is to sue. Whenever these issues pop up, sue, hold officers accountable, make phone calls to our politicians, make phone calls to police departments, hold people accountable, and not forget. What usually happens when we get a new hashtag, people get upset. Pamela Turner, people got upset. But by a week or two down the line, people forget. And I can't imagine what these families are going through when you just lost a loved one wrongfully, unjustly, and people forgot about it. They cared about you for about 2 to 3 days, and then next thing you know, they forget. Well, 1M4 backs you emotionally from start to finish. From the time that you apply to, this is again for members, from the time that you apply through the time that your case goes through court. We're with you every step of the way. We're helping you get that appropriate legal representation. We're promoting your case, letting the nation, the media, our friends, our families, our networks know about what's happening. We're showing up when we can to your cases. We're calling you, and we're staying with you until it is finished, meaning until your case is won. If you lose, we're going through the appeal process until we win. So 1 in 4, again, stands for 1 million madly motivated moms. And I call it my third child. That's what it feels like, birthing something from nothing. And it's a national organization for Black women, Black mothers, and mother figures. So whether you gave birth to a child or you have a vested interest in a child, it's for you too. You just have to have a relationship with a young individual under the age of 18. If you have an issue that happens with 1 in 4, that happens with police brutality, and you need 1 in 4's assistance, you have to be a member to petition the organization. So you have to have a relationship with someone who is a paid member. So if you want to know, how can I find out a little bit more information about 1 in 4 in the short term? So again, the launch date is 9/1/19, which is September 1st, 2019. And the reason I chose that date is because one, I had to push myself to get out there and just launch it, because it's there. The infrastructure and the technology is there. It's just me getting past my own fear to tell people about what I've built and what I'm building. So 9/1/19, when you look at numerology, it kind of represents angel wings on both sides. It's saying that you have an angel walking with you. So I'm asking for all prayers to launch this out into the nation, out into the public. And the website is www.1, the number 1, the letter M as in Mike or mother or million, and the number 4.org. So www.1m4.org. And that's our simple landing page for right now. The full website will be deployed on August 23rd. That's when you'll be able to see all the information, all the background. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to message me on Facebook, text or whatever. Email me at tansymcnulty@1m4.org, or just reach out. I would love to answer any questions that you have. If you have any friends or family who have experienced